sixth graders, Miss Demmer here. Our I can statement for today is I can balance equations. So we've been working a lot with this the last few days. We're just going to see it in a different way today. So this should look pretty similar to what we did yesterday, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. Okay? So it says these two pan balances are each in perfect balance. So that means that one cylinder is equal to two spheres. That means 1 cube is equal to 1 sphere. Okay? So use the relationship in the pan balance shown above to determine which of the pan balances below are balanced. Circle the ones that are in balance. Well, I'm going to write up here to help me. One cylinder is equal to 2 spheres. 1 cube equals 1 sphere. So essentially these are the same weight. So I know that this and this are going to be equal to each other, and I know this and this are going to be equal to each other. But we have this leftover sphere here, so I don't think that's going to be balanced. If we had that not there, then we would know that it's balanced. I look here, my cubes and my spheres are equal. So this and this will be equal, and this will be equal. Well, one cylinder is equal to 2 spheres, which is exactly what we have. So those will be in balance. Look here, one sphere, or one cylinder is equal to 2 spheres. Well, a sphere is the same as a cube. So 2 of these is going to be equal to 1 cylinder. Then these are each the same, so that's also going to be equal. Now see if you can figure this last one yourself. So I know 1 cylinder is equal to 2 of these, so I'm going to cross those out, but we have this left over, so that's not going to work. Then for letter B, it says for any pan balance above that you did not circle, add or cross out objects. Well, we kind of already did that when we showed our balance. We know that this cube is not going to work and this cylinder is not going to work to make them balanced. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing today, but we're actually going to be using numbers with this. So, circle each pan balance that is balanced with equivalent expressions. So remember our please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Using our order of operations, we're going to solve these. So we use our multiplication first. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 plus 2, that gives me 30. 6 times 5 is 30. So these are equal to each other, which is what we want. Now go through and check the other ones. So 8 times 2 is 16. Do my parentheses first. 16 plus 3 more gives me 19. 11 plus 6 is 17. So that's not going to work. 9 times 5 is 45. 12 minus 7 gives us 5. 5 times 5 is 25. That's also not going to work. So now we have 3 times 4 is 12. That gives us 2. 14 minus 3 is 11. 11 times 4 is 44. So we really only have 1. So it says for any pan balance above that you did not circle, cross out one of the expressions and write a new one above it that will balance the equations. So right here, excuse me, I am going to actually cross this one out, and I'm going to do 11 plus 8. See, now these two are balanced. We see that now? They both equal 19. Well, I have 45 here. I'm going to actually keep this 5, and I'm going to make this a 9. Because 12 minus 7 gives us 5. 9 times 5 is 45. Now it's equal. Same thing with this one over here. So I'm going to keep my 44. And now I have to make another equation that makes this equal to 44. So I'm going to do 11 times 4. Now you could have easily did different equations here. We're just trying to get both sides to balance each other. Now the next part that we are going to do, we're going to do one more thing with this stuff, is we're going to put numbers in for this. Now use our number sense that we've talked about in our number talks. So like 2 times the number is equal to 3 plus that same number. Well, it has to be the same number here. Well, if I'm looking at this, I'm thinking in my head, okay, addition and multiplication go hand in hand. 2 groups of what is going to give me, oh, if I did 2 groups of 3, that would both equal 6. So 3 plus 3 is 6, 2 times 3 is 6. So our box is going to equal 3. Sometimes you may need to play around with it too. Now I'm looking right here, and I have 2 times a number plus 7. Well, I'm looking and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm struggling a little bit. What you can always do is if I put, like, for example, 5 in. 2 times 5 is 10. That gives us 17. Now 17 plus 5 more, well, we know 17 plus 3 more gives us 20, and that's 22. Now this side is a lot more than this side, so we're going to have to do a quite bigger number to make them more equal. So I'm actually going to go with 10 here. If I put 10 in here, 2 times 10 is 20, plus 7 is 27. 10 plus 17 also gives me 27, so in the blank it's going to be 10. So we're finding a number that on both sides the same number goes in. Okay? You could also think of it as our variables that we've talked about. Now this one, multiplication and division, are just opposite of each other. So I'm thinking here, okay, 2 times 20 gives me 40. If I divide 80 by 2, that also gives me 40. So this is going to equal 2. Find that number and think about, okay, I know multiplication and division go hand in hand. So if I have 2 groups of 20, that gives me 40. And if I split 80 into 2 groups, that also gives me 40. So we get the same thing. Okay? I would like you to try letter D on your own, and then once you are done, come share what you got for your answer. So, okay, so now we're going to look and see if we got the correct answer. Well, I'm looking here, and I'm going to start with 10, because I see that 63 is a lot bigger than these numbers over here. So if I put 10 in, that gives me 53. 2 times 10 is 20, plus 3 more is 23. This is a huge difference. So I'm actually going to go up by 10 more because we want to get these numbers as close as possible. And kind of like our trial and error, if our numbers aren't close, we're going to have to make them farther apart. So here, I'm going to put 20. 63 minus 20, that gives me 43. 2 times 20 gives me 40, plus 3 more also gives me 43. So we're going to get 20 in that box. Now, for your home link tonight, it's very similar to what we did. Up here, you're making the pan balances balance. Make sure you look at the top here, because that's going to tell you what's equal to each other. Down here, you're putting what's in for the missing number, and number 3, you get to make your own. 4, 5, and 6, you are multiplying decimals. We've worked a lot with this, and I think you will do just great. If you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great rest of your day.